All right, now I can start recording. All right. So last time I tried to play Little Nightmares, and for some god awful reason, it just would not stream correctly. I haven't even checked the recording, to be perfectly honest. Uh, Everyone, tomorrow is the start of summer vacation, but please make sure to act with the modesty befitting a witch. This is Old Brook. Hold on, if I can. My mouse didn't die. Wait, do I need a fuck? I skipped the opening. Okay. So apparently, this is a serious matter for the Magic Institute. Summer vacation begins tomorrow. Don't forget to conduct yourself as a witch should, whether inside Luna Nova or out of it. And finally, let me reiterate although summer vacation starts tomorrow, by continuing to lead a well disciplined lifestyle, become a first rate witch requires daily vigilance. Diligence. And last of all, I look forward to seeing you all again in the new school year. You slept through the whole thing, Akko. Fair enough. I heard what I needed to hear. Uh, oh, I just realized my screen is not capturing the whole. Capturing it in, capturing it there. Uh, hold on. I should have checked the settings before I did this. Now, okay, now it lets me use whatever it is. It's summer vacation. Vacation. Yeah. They'll tell you you're going to visit your family, right? Uh huh. 2 weeks starting next week. What about you, Akko? Not this time. Professor Ursula said she'd help me practice my magic in her spare time. You're staying too, right, Susie? I have to take care of my mushrooms. You two get along while I'm gone, okay? Of course. Don't you worry about a thing. You say so. Man, Lotte's so adorable. Okay. Let's talk. I come. Okay, so we're using the WASD pad. Okay. First, if there is a, see if I can get this to maximize. Apparently not. Hold on. Can I change the size of this thing? Okay, I might just have to move this to the side. That doesn't help me either. Why does that do that? Okay, there we go. For some reason, that's still not. I don't know what it's doing on like my screen, but like it's not actually letting me see the whole screen for some reason. Okay, here we go. You can sometimes eavesdrop on characters by approaching them in the middle of a conversation. Okay. It's summer vacation. Want to go somewhere? Sounds great. What did you have in mind? The pool? The beach? We need, oh, yeah, we'll need new swimsuits. How about shopping trip to Blythesonbury? Blythesonbury? I want to go shopping in a real city. Okay, shopping it is. Alrighty then. Oh yeah, I gotta use the WASD. Hold on. Don't you worry about a thing. Oh, that's not good to hear. Wait. Okay, yeah. You two get along while I'm gone, okay? Of course. Okay. Plan to hone my skills even more this summer vacation. Okay, based. My parents sent me more of those royal scones. That'll be perfect for tea time tomorrow. They taste so good, I always eat too many. Fair. I don't think I need to translate that. Professor Finland, there's something I need to talk to you about. Please come to my office when you're finished here. Understood? Yes, ma'am. Press M to open the map and locate student counseling office. Okay. Are, are you gonna are you gonna let me press the button? Okay, I'm pressing the button. There we go. What have you done now, Akko? I don't know. Maybe they'll cancel your whole summer vacation. Don't freak me out by saying stuff like that. I'd head straight to the student counseling office if I were you. Yeah. Okay, it's been a while since I special pre-summer vacation edition. It's the seven wonders of Luna Nova. This article is the culmination of the combined efforts of the Luna Nova News Network. Extra. Pre-summer vacation, seven wonders of Luna Nova special edition. Published by Juan Gotti and two other members of the journalism club. Huh? I didn't know Luna Nova even had seven wonders. Important people and objects that advance the story are marked with a red exclamation point. Okay. Alrighty then. Stop calling me that already. Sorry, habit. You want a special edition? Already got one. That headlines features a masterpiece. Don't miss it. Hands that reach out from the ground and grab you. A faceless portrait that shoots beams out of its eyes. A creepy doll with a knack for dancing. These are the seven wonders? Fair enough. They did a Rather good job adapting these characters into 3D. That creepy doll sounds like fun. Fun? It says you fall asleep for days when you see it. That suit Daisy perfectly. Fair enough. Okay, let's make sure we're going the right area. Okay, so yeah, I just keep going forward. The Seven Wonders of Luna Nova, huh? I don't know. It's pretty cool, actually. Look, a skeleton that can run. Want to know more about this stuff, this unidentified flying object? A UFO? What's a UFO doing at Luna Nova? Well, we've got witches. Why shouldn't there be aliens too? I mean, you know what? Fair enough. Ooh, I'd love to see an alien. I mean, she's got a point there. You haven't forgotten about that thing tomorrow, right? Yeah, don't worry. I'll be there. Alrighty then. Here. Hi, Dana. Oh, hello. Something I can do for you, Akko? Not really. Professor Finland called me to the student counseling office, so I was just headed there. Professor Finland, you messed up something. You messed something up again, huh? They're gonna kick you out sooner or later, you know. They wouldn't do that. I think. In any case, you better watch that you don't get into any trouble over summer vacation. I'll spend my summer vacation how I like. Knowing you, you'll just end up causing trouble. You should probably just head back to Japan for good. Try not to do anything that tarnishes Luna Nova's reputation. Hopeless cases like Akko are best seen and not heard. Exactly, huh? Oh, exactly. Ha ha ha. Someday I'll make them eat those words. Wonder why I was called into the office though. Hold on. Okay, how do I do this? Okay, so it's tab. That's unusual. God in heaven, that was loud. Well, apparently things happen in the background. You wanted to see me? So you finally decided to show up. I trust you know why you're here. I didn't clean the toilets. I forgot to water the plants. I snuck a snack before dinner. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna go with plants. Um, is this about when I forgot to water the plants? Did you really do that? Huh? It's the first I've heard of it. Not that I can say I'm terribly surprised. That was just a joke. What actually happened is, you know, the reason I called you here is because Professor Babcock tells me you broke Academy supplies with magic. Oh, that? This is a serious matter. Sorry, sorry. As punishment, I thought I would have you organize the storeroom, but it seems that will not be enough. No, that's totally enough. Think I'll have you arrange the books in the library instead. Expect that library to be in perfect order by the end of summer. If not, you may miss out more than your vacation. Yes, ma'am. All right. Let's see. Where are we? All right, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I'm notoriously bad at reading maps, so this might be a bit of a nightmare at times to watch me flounder. When I was in the military, the group we were in for cartography, um, we weren't the ones to get lost, but we did have one group that got really, really lost. Of course, I didn't have the map at the time, so that's why we didn't get lost. Reminisce about Lotte? Nah, like, I've seen the show. You've got to organize the library? Yeah, and if I don't finish before summer breaks over, I might even be expelled. You deserve it, though. And none of this would have happened if you hadn't made me drink that whatever it was in Professor Babcock's class. All I did was wake you up. You're the one who went crazy with your magic. No, it was definitely your potion. All right, calm down, you two. When I finish packing, I'll come help you. Really? Thanks. Why me? Oh, hello there, Road. I come, I see, I work, yet I lurk. Fair. I don't know the answer to this riddle. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna have to get used to the keyboard. I've seen the show. I do not need to reminisce. Hey, Susie, you got back pretty late. Where'd you go off to? I had some things to take care of. Hey, Akko, did you pick up the special edition from the Journalism Club? The one about the seven wonders of Luna Nova? Yeah, everyone in the dorm is talking about it. Huh? Go figure. Who knew people would get so worked up over a bunch of rumors? How do you know they're just rumors? What do you mean? Just what I said? So you think it's all true? No way. Heard someone even went to check things out for herself. Some people are too curious for their own good. Did you just say something? Not me. I just thought it was a little ironic coming from you, Akko. I mean, that is a fair assessment. Maybe I should get some sleep. Advance the clock by sleeping in bed in Akko's room. Gotcha. Okay, so I press. Ain't no way this entire sequence isn't getting copyright claimed. Well, that was cute, but I don't know what that was supposed to teach me. What was that supposed to tell me about the game? Although the models for the characters are really cute. Hey, Akko, where are you going to go? Where are you going? The library. All right. Good luck. I'll come to help you when I've taken care of things here. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to go. Hold on. Okay, I'm just going to control the rate at which this goes forward. That way I don't have to talk over the characters to make sure I don't get cut off before I finish. Thanks. I'll be there. What are you up to, Susie? Just taking care of my mushrooms? You and your mushrooms. When they get bigger, they'll be filled with the most horrible of poisons. Fair enough. Uh, yeah, I mean, fair enough, Akko. Oh, oh, Akko, where are you going so early? I'm good with the reminiscing. Oh, Constance is so adorable. Want to give her head pats. Okay, the library. You going to the library? You going to the library? If there's a joke in there, I missed it. I'm not going because I want to. It's a punishment, so I have to. Ha! Well, that makes sense then. Have some sympathy. It's the first day of summer vacation. I'm going to be stuck in the library. You poor thing. Well, good luck. Thanks, I guess. What are you guys doing today? We're off to have some fun in Blightonberry. Lucky you. Well, why don't you skip out and come with us? Better not. I'd be expelled for sure. Uh, well, we'll be sure to have extra fun since you can't. Yeah, fair enough. Uh, so you're looking for some parts for your machines, Constance? Oh, nothing. Oh, damn. That's not what I was looking for. Want one? It's nice and chewy. No, thank you. Well, I guess I'm off to the library. Oh, do I have to wait? Is the library on this floor? Am I actually retarded? Interesting. Oh, I gotta press it. I gotta press escape for that. I hate this kind of punishment. Akko, at this hour, I'm good. Oh, that pouty face is really adorable. You're up rather early. I thought you'd be asleep until noon again. I can get up whenever I want to. True, as long as you're tending to the library like you're supposed to. Who told you about that? Professor Professor Finnelan. Sometimes you're ah, sometimes you're honestly unbelievable. Sometimes you're honestly unbelievable. See, this is why it took me so long to record that damn script because I can't read. I'm an English major. That's not one of my powers. It's none of your business, Diana. But it is. Professor Finland asked me to watch over the other students during summer vacation. Great. You better take your punishment seriously, or I'll be watching over one student especially closely. Professor Ursula, what are you doing here? Oh, Akko, just who I was looking for. Huh? There's a hole in this bucket, so I'd like to get it fixed with mending magic. Okay. It might be good practice for you. Why don't you give it a try? Okay, I believe S is the spells. Oh, I don't even. Okay. I'm sorry. Not to worry. Next time, try drinking this first. Mending potion. A potion that aids in mending magic. What is this? It's a potion that helps catalyze mending spells. Your magic will work perfectly if you drink this At least it should. All I have to do is drink it. You gain access to new kinds of magic as you progress through the story and encounter certain events. Each type of magic requires its own potion. Here you go. Try again. A few exceptions aside, magic can only be used in certain places during the adventure portion of the game. These places are marked with a magic sigil. When you stand on a sigil, a magic icon will appear above Akko's head. When the spell icon appears, press the C to open the spell menu to use the mending magic. Okay. All right, mending magic. Okay, so I use I and K. Oh, that's fucking unintuitive, at least for me. Okay. Uh, X is mumble, and I don't want to do that. So would it be F? No, that's not it. Okay. I mean, it says I can do it. Oh, you have to be fucking kidding me. Okay. I should have actually. I should have played this on fucking controller, to be perfectly honest. But I need batteries for that. Attempt to use magic other than the necessary type will result in failure. Failed magic attempts will still use up magic potions. Yeah, fair enough. Oh wow, it really worked. You'll learn the ropes soon enough. Then you won't have to use magic potions anymore. Thanks. All right, let's try this. Oh, she just says the same thing. Okay, I think the library is over here. I'll talk to them later. The journalism club has been making a racket all morning about some students who saw a ghost in the library. They made it all up themselves, no doubt. Special edition probably gave them big ideas. Where's Molly anyway? She must still be in bed. Maybe she's using summer vacation as an excuse to sleep in. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the. Yep. Get fucked. Learn the Dewey Decimal System. Oh my god. It's that what was that old parody? Conan the Librarian? It's the, do you know where the astronomy section's at? Fucking Conan grabs the patron and lifts him up. Do you not know the Dewey Decimal System? Oh my god. That was way funnier in that commercial than it had any fucking or that skit than it had any right to be. Holy shit. Okay, hold on. No way. I have to sort all of this? It could take days. Not that I have much choice. Okay. Books on the proper care and feeding of familiars. See, this book goes. Okay. Maybe here? All right, on to the next one. I can interact with this. Examine, damn you. Oh, my bad. That was me. I was pressing the wrong button. Got to put these books away. Wait. Okay, what is going on here? All right, let me test something. Okay, so it's just not letting me grab that book. Let's see. Philosophy of Witchcraft, a book on witch philosophy. You see, this book goes maybe here. All right, on to the next one. Are there any more, or is it these three? Oh shit, wrong button. I keep hitting the wrong button. Okay, now it's still not letting me grab this. There we go. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Luna Nova History, Volume 12. Volume 12 of a series on the history of Luna Nova Witchcraft Academy. Let's see, this book goes. Must be the wrong shelf. Where does this go? Maybe here? Oh, geez, I can't take it anymore. Calm down there, ADHD kid. Let's take a tiny little break. Oh, I've done that before. Oh, I've done this before. The deep depression just absolutely sleep the day away. Ah, it's a ghost. Ghost that kind of looked like Susie. Oh, well, I mean, Susie and Diana kind of mixed together. Okay. Yeah, this one. Akko, wake up, Akko. Huh? Lotte? You haven't organized anything. You've been sleeping this whole time? Like, well, I cleaned up a little, then I got sleepy. Wait, what time is it? I just got to say, I didn't realize Lotte was double jointed in her thumb. Interesting. It's evening already. Don't worry, we'll help out. Let's get some cleaning done, okay? Well, I didn't answer her question, but okay. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Oh, huh? Did I put that book down here? Sealed, a damaged book with illegible titles. This book looks really old. Wonder what it's about. Better put it away. How exactly do you know where to put it if you can't read the title? This must be the spot. Huh? What? An earthquake? Akko, look, the bookshelf. Oh, oh, it wasn't an earthquake. It was the bookshelf. Wait, is that a door? Where do you think it goes? Things just got interesting. This be some kind of secret passage? Akko, you better not get close. It might be dangerous. Ah, Loki, the little cutie, fucking worried about everything. I'll be fine. Watch this. Whoa. Akko, what did you do? Barely touched it. What was that? Whole doorway filled with light. Pitch black now. Looks like the stairway goes underground. That is not pitch black. I don't know what you think pitch black means. That is not pitch black. Underground. Maybe there's a new species of poisonous mushroom or spider down there. Susie! Hey, Susie, don't run ahead like that. Hey, you two! Oh, wait for me. Oh, a secret room. Jeez, don't scare me like that. Akko, over here. Now that's what I call a huge door. Huh, that's funny. What is it? I get the feeling I've seen this door somewhere before. Do you imagine it? I don't know. Maybe. Anyways, there may be something behind this door. Maybe this is the key in the chest. Only one way to find out. Akko, wait. Look at this magic sigil. What do you think it's for? I don't know, but it could be dangerous. Maybe we shouldn't just open it. Whatever, it's fine. Careful. Anyway, it won't budge. If pulling doesn't work, try giving it a push. Here goes. Oh my god. Sushi was like, well, this is how I die. What what a meaningless life I lived. Oh well. It's a fucking straight up puppy cat way to fall. Okay. You can make your character dash by holding down the shift while moving. Okay. Use the action buttons to attack. Different action buttons can be used to perform different attacks. Okay. So weak attack, normal attack. Support characters can join your main character in battle. Support characters move and act on their own accord. Defeat all enemies to proceed to the next area. May not apply to all areas. Use the spell and action buttons together to perform magic attacks. Okay, so which one is the MP is our magical points is required to use magic attacks and regenerates as time passes. After using magic attack, there's a short delay before you can use the same attack again. All magic belongs to one of the four elements: fire, water, air, and earth. In battle, damage dealt with an enemy's vulnerable element will appear in a larger and different colored text. Watch for this to figure out enemies' weak points. Well, it sucks that I'm colorblind. Damn, I got just like bodied. Immediately knocked on my ass. Oh, I didn't even see that guy. There we go. Alrighty then. Let's see what we got. A boss appears at the end of each level. Defeat it to return to the Horologium chamber. Note to self: next time I do this, do it on like a controller. Quest complete. Spellstones 0, Lunanova coins or Lunanova pounds 23. Let's see. Experience points 22. You see that? Calm down, Akko. How am I supposed to calm down? I actually used magic without messing it up. Maybe you were just lucky. No way, watch this. What? Just as I thought. I'm just glad we made it back safe. Didn't we tell one of the professors about that place? No way. Why not? You can't just have doors leading to dungeons lying around everywhere. And it might have been hidden for a reason. No, you can't tell anyone. If they find out I've been slacking down off here, I'll be expelled for sure. So you admit you were slacking off. It's late. We can decide to tell them or not later. Let's go back to the room. uh, well, she's definitely she's definitely a fan of that novel. Do, 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 do. So I work in the library. You go ahead, and I'll come help later. Okay. Thanks, Lotte. Matter, Susie. This is strange. Oh, Akko, where are you going so early? I'm off to the library again. You're going to the library? There's a joke in there. I missed it. What are you talking about? I already told you yesterday. You don't have to make fun of me. Yesterday? You didn't tell me anything yesterday. You guys remember, right? Huh? Oh? Got it? I don't get it. So that's how it went down. Well, that makes sense. I really thought I mentioned it. And now I know I have to go this way. Weird. I thought we went over this yesterday. Akko, at this hour? You're up rather early. I thought you'd be asleep until noon again. I can get up whenever I. Wait a minute. We already had this conversation yesterday. Yesterday. What are you talking about? What am I talking about? Professor Fenelon was right. Sometimes you are honestly unbelievable. I heard you the first time, and I don't need you watching over my shoulder to make sure I clean up the library. Right. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad to hear it. Oh my god. You know what? I'm gonna say it again. Oh my god. Let me hold on. I'm gonna screenshot this because that face is so cute. Holy fuck! That completely dumbfounded face. It's like, huh? Wait, hold on. Doesn't Steam have a? Oh, it does. Okay, it's a good thing I remember that. Okay. Yeah. Professor Ursula. Wait. Don't tell me your bucket has a hole in it again. Yes, it does actually. You're pretty sharp. Try using mending magic to fix it. Again? Pardon? Probably mess it up if I don't drink a potion first. Well, how about this mending magic potion? Okay, here it goes. Or here I go. Okay, spell, pick that. You'll learn the ropes soon enough. Then you won't need to. We won't have to use magic potions anymore. Okay. Okay, so everything's basically going to be the same, so I don't have to stay and listen to all this. Everyone's acting strange. What's going on? The books we cleaned up yesterday, they're all back. So that's how it went down. You think someone took the books we cleaned up yesterday and piled them back up again? Yeah, that makes me so mad. Why would anyone do something like that? Probably because they hate Akko. It was Hana and Barbara. I know it. I wonder. Everything looks exactly like it did yesterday. Yeah, just like yesterday. If I remember right, the books were even stacked in the same order. Even if someone really had something against you, I don't think they would go this far. Or I don't think they could. Might be right, but what does it mean? I don't know. Let's just get these books sorted out. Talking about it isn't going to get us anywhere. You're right. I'm already worn out, though. Okay, we're finally back to where we were yesterday. Almost there. What's up, Susie? Something's been bugging me. What? You're just looking for an excuse to take a break, aren't you? The hidden door is still open, you know. You're right. I'd be right back in trouble if someone saw that. Why not worry about that after all the books are tidied away? Yeah, let's get this over with. Okay, we should be able to finish the rest tomorrow. Yeah, not much more to go on now, Akko. It's all thanks to you two helping out. Although Susie did get distracted partway through. Call it a day. Let's call it a day. I'm hungry. Yeah, what are we having? Potatoes again, I guess. Seems like she's fed up with potatoes. Alrighty then. We cleaned up almost everything yesterday, so let's see if we can finish up the whole job today. Yes, that settles it. This is weird. Susie, hey Susie. Oh, Akko, where are you going so early? I'm off to the library again. You going to the library? If there's a joke in there, I missed it. Not this again. Enough is enough. Hey, no need to get upset. Was it something I said? Really don't remember? Remember what? What's going on? No, I'm really getting worried. Akko, at this hour, you're up rather early. I thought you'd be asleep until noon again. You too, Diana? I don't get it. Akko? Oh my god, that face is just so cute. Did something happen? No, it's nothing. I was just thinking about something. Hmm. Professor Ursula? I will say they made Professor Ursula a real cutie in this too. Holy crap. Oh, Akko. Just who was I talking? Oh, just who I was looking for. Sorry, Professor. I'm in a hurry. Huh? Akko? Thought so. The books are back. I had a feeling they would be. What the heck is going on here? Okay, this is really weird. It's like everyone but us is repeating the same day over and over again. And it isn't just the people. My mushrooms have shrunk too. Could time be rewinding itself? What do you mean? It's like when today ends, instead of becoming tomorrow, today just starts all over again. And that's why the books we sorted out yesterday all went back to how they were. And Amanda didn't remember what we talked about. But wait, yeah, why do we remember? Isn't it obvious? The books are back the way they were, but that door is still open. It might have something to do with that room behind the hidden door. Doot, 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 doot. Could it really be possible to go back in time? I don't know, but I'm going to find out. So, funny enough, uh, funny enough, uh, Captain Terror, who I hosted with on Sunday, uh, is actually learning about time travel and the philosophy of time travel. So it's gonna be interesting next time I talk to him about what he's learned, because it is a fun subject. Okay, I had a feeling something was up. Why did you say something earlier then? I didn't think telling you would make much of a difference, Akko. Fair. So one of the things about time travel per se is there's multiple ways. There's multiple things to consider with time travel. Hold on. Let's see. What could this room have been used for? Okay, yeah. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, hold on. Damn it. Interact with Lotte. There we go. What have you gotten there? I think this is the crystal ball. Like, like that thing you're always glued to. That lets me browse the internet, send messages via magic. But this is something much older. It's like the crystal balls that witches use for fortune telling. This might actually have a spirit inside it. Telepathy magic animates lifeless objects. Could you try communicating with it? You might be able to do it yourself if you use this telepathy potion. A potion? I got it as a sample. I don't need it, so why don't you give it a try? Okay, let's see how this goes. Oh yeah, hold on. I can't just use the damn arrow keys, apparently. Nice job, Akko. Did it work? I don't understand what the spirit is saying. Guess the potion doesn't cover that. Too bad. The spirit seems to be thanking you anyway. It says it'll commit everything you've done to memory whenever you look at the crystal ball. Huh. I still don't really get it. Maybe you'll start to understand the spirit if you keep checking in every now and then. I guess that's worth a shot. I think there are more of these crystal balls around Luna Nova, so keep trying to communicate with the spirits. I don't remember seeing any. There's one in our room. I'll show you later. So, playing this game, it reminds me that I uh, I have a completely open. Oh, I don't know if open source is not technically the correct word for this, but I have a multiple, very different. I have a multiple framework addressment of like a power system I developed, which was supposed to be minimally committed to metaphysics. So it was designed to not commit to any particular metaphysical substrate. Hold on, I'm pretty sure this is how we save. And I'm realizing I should probably come up with the same thing for the Hecatean power system, because each planet in the story I've been writing has its own power system, and Earth's is like superpowers. But the planet Hecate has a superpower system that resembles like a old school magic system, like you see in Little Witch Academia or you see in like Harry Potter. Except I have a lot more details that I want to flesh out over time with it. So it would be nice to. I probably need to do the same thing with like how different worldviews would interpret the power system, with how different worldviews would interpret the magic system, especially since the magic system isn't really magic in the classical sense. Like you're not outsourcing power from another entity. It's still an internal seminal power, like a superpower is. So I could probably riff quite a bit off of what I already did with superpowers for that particular system. Okay, hold on. Let me check this. Okay. What could this door have been used for? Oh yeah, about the time travel thing too. Uh, yeah, because I think I've talked to him before he got into this stuff about like how there's different ways to explain how you could potentially change history with time travel without actually violating the law of non-contradiction. And they all boil down to essentially, well, you're not doing time travel in the way people are thinking. For example, when Homura Akemi in Puella Magi Madoka Magica is going back in time to try to save Madoka, what she's actually doing is she's creating branching timelines that she can then go into and try to change the past in that particular timeline. Another way to do that is obviously from a already existing branching timeline. So you're not actually changing your past, but you are changing a past. I think they do this in they do this in Dragon Ball Z with the Cell Saga, where Trunks goes back into the past, but he doesn't change his own past. He changes a different timeline's past, and he comes back with the ability to change his current present and his timeline. Uh, And another way to do this is through basically a form of like state recreation, where instead of actually turning back time to to undo something, instead what you're doing is you're undoing entropy, and you're basically recreating a previous state of the universe. So you're manipulating all of the particles in the material substrate of the universe and all of the cognitive content, and you're rolling back to a previous state, but you're not actually moving backwards in time. So that would be a presentist that would be an example of time travel that would actually be compatible with presentism, because you're not actually moving back in a fourth dimensional, sense. You're not actually committed to eternalism. So, okay, hold on. Let's see what she has to say. Maybe this all started because you broke this clock. It wasn't me. That clock wasn't moving in the first place. I didn't break it. But you touched it, didn't you? I don't know. Maybe. Either way, the flow of time has gotten strange. The flow, the flow of time. I feel like I've heard that somewhere before. So, yeah, outside of that, where you're changing time, there are modes of time travel that don't involve you having the ability to change time. And some of it is very obviously time travel, and some of it very obviously is not time travel in many reasonable respect. Okay, well, I guess I got to go down here for this. Watch out, Uncle. You get sent off to some strange place again. This room has been used for. What the hell am I looking for? Oh, damn it. Okay. So what is this place? It can't be some kind of giant closet. I don't think closets and dungeons usually mix. You think they hid this place because of that door? Uh yes, Road. Mostly dimensional. So dimension is kind of a tricky word because it means different things in different contexts. But yes, if you mean dimensional as in like timeline or universe, then you are correct. That would be the most reasonable way to explain you actually being able to go back in time and then change something. But you could also explain the observation of going back in time and changing something, not by actually going back in time, but instead, if you will, forcing the universe to recreate a previous state and then moving forward from there. So even the apparent ability to go back in time and change things does not actually commit you to the eternalist worldview. There are actually ways to finagle things like presentism uh, into that particular paradigm. But also, depending on, well, you are correct that like in order to turn back, well, kind of. So the second law of thermodynamics is not an absolute law. There are absolutely workarounds for the second law of thermodynamics. The second law of thermodynamics is a statistical rule. It is not an absolute rule. But that being said, if we're talking about like a story where like, because you got to remember, we're already accepting very fantastical premises. With Little Witch Academia, we are accepting that like if you give certain girls a wand and then get them to say certain words in the correct way, they can make a statue move. Or in other settings with this kind of time travel, you have men who can fly, survive being nuked with no damage, and then shoot fire from their eyes. At that point, allowing this kind of allowance is actually pretty minimal. It's not actually that strange compared to some of the other stuff we're already. you know, putting aside. And at least in Puella Magi Madoka Magica, they don't even really go for the second law of thermodynamics. They straight up just like throw out the second and the first law because in Puella Magi Madoka Magica, the whole plan is that magic actually creates energy, so they're actually getting something from nothing. Um, so let's see. Body mollywops, hornswoggled even. I- Is that Amanda? When Akko said she was going to the library, I just had to see it for myself. Who knew the library led to some place like this? Weren't you going to to Blightonberry? Oh, change of plans. How did you know about that though? Ah, jeez. Why is everything getting so complicated? How could you keep this place a secret from us? Not cool. Okay, but you have to swear not to tell anybody else, especially not the professors. Well, I don't think she has a problem with this. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, correct, Road. Madoka Magica said, "Screw science." But I mean, to be fair, you don't actually technically need either of the laws of thermodynamics to actually do science. Like, all you need for science to actually work is for there to be a pattern of regularity in nature. Because once you have a pattern of regularity in nature, then you can actually examine it and you can see where the regularities lead. Actually, again, as I said, uh, so I put a lot of effort into making a power system that was effectively like the power system of DC and Marvel, except there were a number of very apparently minor edits that actually have very big consequences. So the first one was completely divorcing it from genetics. So, like, a metahuman could pass on metahumanity to their blood, descendants, their adopted children, their foster children. If they're a gestational surrogate, they're the baby that they're carrying. The baby that they're carrying. Uh, if you're talking about cloning, it transmits through both nuclear and mitochondrial descent. And there's even a generation skipping mechanic in there. And since again it goes through all of these vectors, even if your adoptive child doesn't get it, your adopted grandchildren, through that adoption are going to still get it. Um, and I was able to like the when I was looking at it, it was like, okay, if we assume patterns of regularity, we don't actually have to know what's causing the powers, but we can actually still learn quite a bit about like how powers actually work. But again, we have to, in order to do that, assume regularity. And I'll give you an example. So let's take a hypothetical example, and I actually got this from a book had I bought a long time ago. This was like a decade ago. Um, let's say, hypothetically speaking, you're an astronomer, and you're looking through a telescope, and you find a quasar, right? But you notice that the quasar is not acting the way you expect a quasar to act. And one day, just randomly, when you're talking to yourself, you notice that like every time someone is looking at the quasar, so a human being is looking at the quasar, you get odd measurements. And okay, that's entirely fine. We can still analyze odd measurements. But someone points out, hey, it only happens when a person is currently watching the quasar. Okay, so then we at least know one thing that's we may not know what's causing it, but we do know that whenever someone watches this quasar, it acts unusually. Now, let's say you start experimenting with this and you start noticing that there are time signatures with how its spin is actually modified, and you notice that it actually corresponds to Morse code. I mean, quasars spin really fucking fast, so yeah, it could. compress a lot of information into a very short amount of time if you're using Morse code. So let's say that, for example, it corresponds to Morse code for some strange reason, right? And we actually find that, like, when someone asks a question while observing the star, it actually provides what appears to be an answer, even though there's no causal way for us to like understand how it would receive the question in the first place. We don't necessarily know how that quasar is performing what it's doing or what's causing that, but you could still, through the scientific method, figure out, okay, the quasar is actually responding to human questions when humans are observing it. We don't know how the fuck it's doing it, but we do know that it is doing this because we can observe and test this hypothesis. Uh, so that would be one example of, again, it goes completely against what we would expect, but you could use science to actually analyze it and figure out at least the effect of what's going on, even if you don't know exactly what's going on. So, science actually could survive the rebirth of magic if it actually happened, assuming that there's any degree of regularity in magic. We already have an issue of not really understanding what the hell is going on in science. Like, there's a difference between the formalism and the ontology. So, like, what the math says versus what is actually going on. The math of quantum mechanics, for example, doesn't really tell you shit about what's going on. To be perfectly honest, we don't have a damn clue from the formalism about what's actually happening. That's why you have so many mutually like intelligible ways to approach it. You have the shut up and calculate model, which is I'm not even going to address it. I just want the math. But then you also have again the many worlds interpretation provides a usable solution to the mathematics. Bohmian mechanics provides the exact same outcomes that quantum mechanics does. Stochastic mechanics, which is basically there's a sub quantum substrate which is stochastic or random in how space and time uh, boil and like a pot of water. And it's from this stochastic mechanism that quantum mechanics actually arrives. So there are pre-quantum models that give you quantum mechanics. Uh, and I could go on and on about this. There's two-state vector formalism. There's the Copenhagen interpretation. There's the von Neumann Wigner interpretation. And they're not they're not mutual to each other. Like if any of these are correct, all the other ones are false because Bohmian mechanics doesn't accept any like future information moving into the past, which is required in the two-state vector formalist and the transactional interpretations. But if the particles that we're looking at are actual point particles, then Bohmian mechanics and superdeterminism may very well be correct, but the Copenhagen interpretation and the von Neumann Wigner interpretation are definitely false. And then again, if it turns out that quantum mechanics is just the strangeness of quantum mechanics is just an epistemological problem and not actually an ontological problem, then again, superdeterminism or quantum Bayesianism may actually be correct interpretations of quantum mechanics. But the von Neumann Wigner interpretation, which believes that consciousness actually has an effect on the outcome of quantum systems, would be false. And it's not just quantum mechanics; that's just the easiest one to go for. Uh, in special relativity, we have the exact same problem of there are different ways to explain the phenomenon we actually observe. You don't actually have to recourse to the idea that space itself bends like a geometric entity which is Minkowski's idea, in order to explain astronomical observations. Uh, Einstein, for example, didn't believe that space time itself was geometry, but he believed that space was defined by the relationship between entities that we perceive in space. So you could describe all of these as like relational effects between objects. And with the neo Lorentzian interpretation, you could again explain all of our observations with motion with respect to a preferred reference frame that is non classical. There have been many like proposed examples of what this preferred reference frame might be, including the co-moving frame, or like the cosmic microwave background, or even the Higgs field. Which, by the way, if it was the Higgs field, it would be very close to what the original ether theory was. But this is a recurring problem that once you get deep enough into a field, we literally just do not have the ability to test between certain like theories because they predict the exact same thing. So these are literally just different interpretations of the mathematics. So you can't recourse to what the mathematics predicts to prove them because they all predict the same thing. We just they're just different ways to explain what the math is actually trying to say. Um, and again, that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure if we somehow like someone performed Full Metal Alchemist style alchemy, we may not know what the fuck is going on, but we would be able to have a pretty quick grasp on how exactly what the rules are, even if we don't know why those rules are the way that they are. So, at least in that way, I'm a pretty staunch scientific optimist. I'm not as optimist as like comic books because I think there is a epistemological limit even with magic if you put it into a system. I don't think you'd ever be able to actually get fundamental answers even with magic or superpowers. But you know, okay, sorry, a little bit of a tangent. Oh, yeah, I don't think any of these girls are gonna tell. Like, she's got a whole fucking lab with contraband of robots. She's constantly sneaking food, and she just doesn't respect authority. So yeah, the, none of these girls are gonna say shit. Okay, already, my lips are sealed. What's this? Doing something you shouldn't be doing down here, Diana? Now we're done for. You're the last person I wanted to find out. This is all your fault, Amanda. Hold on, you think I'd tell Diana anything? My, how rude. Akko was acting even more suspicious than usual, so I just came to check up on her. So it's your fault, Akko. But Akko, weren't you supposed to be sorting the books in the library? Right, about that. Not only were you shirking your duties, but this place. I can't wait to hear your excuse for this. Depending on your answer, I may have to inform Professor Finland. Wait, anything but that? I can explain. Blah, blah, blah. You know the rest. Oh, a dungeon. That sounds so cool. The flow of time. Could this really be the horologium chamber? That's it, the horologium chamber. Horologium? What is that? Therein can be found a clock that controls time and a mysterious door. The clock spins in reverse, the door leads to a myriad of different places, and the treasure beyond remains a mystery. It's a super rare Beta Chariot card. Wow, you have that card? No, I just saw it in the collector's book. Oh, damn. Here we go. So, when are we going to check out this dungeon? Aren't you worried, Amanda? Worried about what? It isn't normal for time to rewind like this. Well, at least we won't be bored. I'm ready to head into a dungeon right now, in fact. Okay, hold on. No worries. The rant was fun. Work just got busy for a moment, so I could only listen to not respond. I think I understand, but a few important details were drowned out, but I got enough to follow along. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. The especially the thing with like uh so the problem with like a lot of the interpretations of scientific theory is that there are a lot of ways to interpret the same data, especially and you can especially with mathematics. Mathematics is infinitely fungible, which is one of the problems with like theories of everything, which is no matter what the test actually comes out, and when you try to test the theory of everything, you can always modify the equations to then come up with what the null result was and explain it away. We had this exact problem with loop quantum gravity, actually, where loop quantum gravity originally predicted that there should be a difference in the speed of light at high energies. And when I say high energies, I mean extremely high energies and not so high energies. This was looking as if it was experimentally completely unverifiable. Uh, and so what ended up happening is loop quantum gravity theorists were able to finagle that particular prediction out of the equation, which again means that this theory is completely unfucking testable because most of its predictions are, shared with other theories of everything. So theories like the Lie E8 theory, causal sets. What else is there? String theory. Well, there's actually two main string theories. Uh, let's see what else is there. We already talked about loop quantum gravity. Uh, all of these models, geometric unity, they don't really provide testable predictions, and even when they do, they can always be salvaged by just modifying the mathematics. So that is a bit of an issue that we've been having in the field of academia at the moment, and it leads to a lot of rampant speculation that, again, just over what would you say overcomplicates what isn't actually that complicated. Like everyone thinks quantum mechanics is some kind of like mystical, incomprehensible thing, but quantum mechanics is just linear algebra if you actually like look at the formulas. So it's actually not something that resists understanding from the mathematics. It resists understanding because we just don't have a way to test what is actually happening, just the effects of what the mathematics predict, which we can learn to use to very extreme precision, but that still doesn't tell us what's actually happening. And it's the same thing with special relativity. Again, those three models I was talking about, they predict the exact same thing mathematically. So there's not really a way to prove any of them. The only way you could really move them one way or the other is if you disproved one of them, you disproved all three of them. And it's the same thing with because again, you'd have to show that the math is wrong, and then all three of them crumble, and you have the same problem with quantum mechanics. The only models that actually have any kind of like testable predictions are the ones that, well, if they were true in the first place, you'd have to completely redefine the mathematics you were working with in the first place. So you wouldn't even be working with the same theory. Not like I asked Amanda and the others to come out to come. I don't know about this. They may not remember it tomorrow anyway. Yeah, it's like off the top of my head, if I really needed to, I could probably list 15 different interpretations of quantum mechanics that like they are not compatible with each other, but they're mathematically equivalent to each other. So like the only one of them can actually be true at one time, but if any of them are true, we would never be able to tell which one it is because the mathematics for all of them are identical. There are other interpretations of quantum mechanics that do have different math, but like 15 of them predict the exact same thing, at least from our testable predictions. Things are getting interesting now. I thought something see, I thought something interesting might happen if I stuck with you, but I had no idea we get stuck into something like this on the first day of vacation. Make it sound like it's my fault. Well, it is, isn't it? No, it's not. Probably. Still not sure I entirely believe your story. It's all true, I swear. We'll find out tomorrow. But if this is really the horologium chamber, what if this is the horologium chamber? What would be hidden here in the library? Maybe it's just a coincidence. As expected, your answer leaves much to be desired. What? Let's see. Okay, I'm now caught up. Yeah, I mean, I can sometimes like speak a mile a minute when and like I can sometimes speak a mile a minute. Is I get lost in the conversation sometimes. I can actually. What the hell am I supposed to be doing here? I, oh, okay. There were two that I forgot to get the opinions of. Didn't break it. Okay. Want one? It's nice and crispy. Okay, I was supposed to talk to all of them. Okay. Do you think Amanda and the others will remember what happened today like us? Who knows? Find out soon enough. I had no idea something this fascinating was going on. If time is rewinding, does that mean we can eat all we want? If this is the horologium chamber, wonder if time really turned back. This keeps up, my mushrooms will never grow. No way, I can't believe you were actually right. You didn't believe me? No one would believe something as crazy as that. That is an interesting bend in her arm right here. Holy crap. But you do now. Well, once you see it for yourself, we'll come to the library in a bit. How strange. It's like a donut. Damn it. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. You know, you're not wrong. Can't talk, Professor Ursula. I'm in a hurry. Wait, where are you going? Ah, you're late. It was just like I said, right? Yes, you were correct. It seems that the first day of summer vacation is repeating itself. Told you. Well, what do you plan to do about it? Huh? You weren't planning on spending the rest of your life repeating the first day of summer vacation, were you? I hadn't thought that far yet. Perhaps I should go tell the professors. No, don't. Please don't tell them. I think I figured a few things out about the horologium chamber. What is it? Calm down. I will explain once everyone is here. I have some information about the horologium chamber that I'd like to share with everyone. First off, a summary of what we all already know. Given recent circumstances, I believe we can all agree that the horologium chamber can control the flow of time. Further, I think we can say that this was set in motion when Akko and her friends broke the magic seal on the chamber. How can you be sure about that? I examined the hidden door in the library. The spell cast on it was a very old one, but there's no doubt it was sealed by magic. I'm sure the witch who bound the door never expected that someone would come along and break the seal without a second thought. Yeah. Who expects something like this to happen in the first place? Be that as it may, the solution to this conundrum most likely involves the door in the horologium chamber. Oh, because the chariot card said the treasure lies beyond the door? I don't know about any treasure, but it seems that the door leads to a different place depending on the magic key used to unlock it. There's only one magic key. About that. Take a look at this. Where did you get that? I found it in the dormitory this morning. I checked and it's a different key. It's different than the keys to the dormitory and the classrooms. Then maybe if you use it on this door, yes, it may lead somewhere different than the key you found in the chest. Well, 'twas fun, but I gotta head out. Good luck on the game. Oh, thank you, Road. And Godspeed with whatever you're doing. Have a wonderful night. See, perhaps it will even lead us to some clue about how to repair the flow of time. Right. So what are we waiting for? Let's go. Lesser key of Canopus. A small magic key to the Canopus ruins inhabited by monsters well suited to weaker party members. Maybe we'll discover a new species of poisonous plant or animal. Perhaps there are other magic keys scattered around the academy. Going into the dungeon? But what if the door leads somewhere dangerous? We're going into a dungeon? Let's do this. Want one? It's nice and fluffy. Just a moment. Don't tell me you're going to say to stay back because it's too dangerous or something. Part of the magic sigil is broken. There, all better. What did you do? I fixed the magic sigil. Now up to 3 people should be able to teleport at once. But if more than 3 people go in, I wouldn't. I wouldn't try it if I were you. You might never make it back. Uh, it was just luck that you teleported there and back in one piece. You don't have to do this if you're scared. Ha! You gotta be joking. You're the one who's scared. Admit it. Well, we will never know unless we try. I'm curious to see whether the magic sigil will function properly anyway. Why don't you try stepping through? You can decide who stays and goes. Of course, picking me would be the safest choice. Part okay, yeah. Akko doesn't even get to go. Yeah, fair enough. All right, so let's go and confirm. Oh, that's not what I meant. Damn, I can't fucking use this to save my life. Oh damn! I'm hitting the wrong button. Okay, let's try this. Alrighty then. If I could actually hit a fucking enemy, that would be nice. There we go. Well, that was pointless. On the contrary, we learned that the signal is working properly and the keys do lead to different places. And to see what other I intend to see what other information I can learn about the horologium chamber. Are you giving up on it already? What, are you kidding? I never give up on something once I put my mind to it. I haven't had much exercise lately, so this should be a good workout. Time to hit the dungeons. We're not going on a picnic here. I know, but don't tell me you're not a little bit excited. Well, maybe a little. I can use magic on the other side for some reason, and and that's pretty cool. We might encounter creatures too powerful for us to defeat. Just in case, be sure to stock up on all the items you might need. You should also work on building up your skills through experience. Never been a big fan of doing things the hard way. Maybe we should check out the first place we win again. Why? I just thought that it might teleport us to a different place now that Diana's fixed the magic sigil. Yeah, we might find a clue there. Let's go take a look. But wait, it's too dangerous to go without making preparations. You worry too much, Lotte. Now perform enchantments in the, laboratory. Examine the enchanting cauldron to bring up the enchant screen. This room feels a bit empty. Now that you mention it, you're right. Maybe give it a makeover. Try to brighten up the place if I come across anything that fits. Let me know if you find any magic keys, Constance. I didn't even get to talk to Seuss. Oh, there she is. So we can visit all sorts of places by finding these magic keys. This could be my chance. Chance for what? To find rare mushrooms without technically leaving Luna Nova. Fair enough. All right, I think that'll be it for today. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yep. All right, I guess that will be it for today. Y'all have fun. Hopefully, the beginning of this video isn't too garbled because I don't know how loud the audio was compared to my speaking, and I don't know if like me speaking over the characters because I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I didn't realize that I could just anyway. I hope that that's not too bad. So again, y'all have fun. I'm logging off.